Hello, I'm Tom. I talk all matters stock market and investing, and today I'm going to talk about everyone's second favourite electric vehicle maker. Yeah, going to cover off NIO today. So I've not talked about NIO on the channel before. I'm going to go through a few bits about NIO and what it's all about. But first, I'm going to go through the main news of today, and that's a new price target from an analyst. That's the main catalyst for today. That'll be solely what the video is focused on. I'll get that out away right at the beginning, and then we'll go on to a few other bits about NIO, about the company, about the setup, about the battery as a service, which is very interesting, and a few other bits and pieces. But the main thing today is just going to be this price target from the analyst. Being completely upfront, I do hold NIO at the moment in my portfolio. It did form part of my 10 top EV stocks experiment, I guess you could call it, but I put in a little more heavily into NIO because I'll be honest, I was a bit more bullish on NIO. I genuinely thought that they are second best to Tesla. Check out one of my last videos, I'll tag it, that I talk about Tesla. Quite scary really, and if you watch the video that I tagged down in the corner there, a lot of that video explains a bit about the pricing and how it's probably a little overpriced at the moment. Don't know that for sure, and the price could continue to go, so don't quote me on that by any means. And on that matter, don't quote me on anything I say to you in this video. This is just purely for your information. Do your own research before buying into any companies like NIO. If you are new to the channel, then please go down and subscribe to the channel so you get all the future content coming out. And while you're down there, give it a little like as well, because it really helps out the channel, helps to spread the message and the content out there for all to see. Throughout the video, feel free to make a comment below on anything you want to pull me up on or comment on, or let me know if you're in NIO yourself, what your average is, what your price is, where you got in at, and how far up you are. It'd be great to hear from you guys as always, and I do make sure I get back to every single comment, even the scammers that are out there, only because it shows up in the comments I haven't replied to and it hurts my OCD. Anyway, let's get into the computer. As always, easiest to show you on here, and we'll go into the analyst giving their new price target, and then we'll go through the other bits of NIO that I think you might be interested to know anyway. I'm assuming you're allowed to drink on YouTube. JJ Buckner does it all the time with his beers. Right, we'll start on the website just quickly, and then we'll go straight into the new price target from the analyst. I won't waste your time too much, but it'll be nice just to start on the website. Here's a car by NIO. There are many other cars by NIO as well. We have an EC6, which is like a little mini SUV. We've got an ES8, which is a bigger SUV, almost looks maybe Mercedes M car-esque, and it's supposed to be a luxury vehicle. We've got an ES6 as well, which doesn't give you, oh, there you go. Oh, lovely. Oh. That's BMW X3 type looking cars. SUV, mini SUV. I actually think, I quite like the look of that, I think. Right, so they're the vehicles. The ET7 is the latest offering. The saloon, or the sedan if you are American. They're the same thing, believe it or not. It's just you guys have decided to call it a sedan instead of a saloon, even though it's a saloon. But it's looking pretty good. It looks probably a little bit more like a Lucid than a Tesla. The front looks a bit more like a Tesla. I'm still liking and preferring the Lucid, I think, motors. But anyway, enough of that. This is why you're here. So seeking alpha, we have NIO named China's EV heir apparent by Nomura, if that's how you pronounce it. Stock gets buy rating. So this is the latest analyst putting it as buy rating, and we've got a pretty hefty price target as well. So calling NIO the epitome of Chinese luxury brand and noting battery as a service will be game changer. I think they may well be right there. That's quite a unique, a very unique, very interesting, very innovative concept. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes down. Nomura starts coverage on EV stock NIO with a buy rating. Nomura gives a stock price target of $80.30 a share, an upside of more than 37% from its current value. This is the main reason you're here, this price target from one of the analysts out there, which is quite astonishing really. You don't see many $80 price targets. In actual fact, if we get over to Yahoo Finance, we're on NIO here in Yahoo Finance, and we've got an average price target of 47.76, and that's from 16 analysts. Its current value is 59.83, highs of 100, lows of 7, and the average down here at 47.76. So Nomura's price target is hefty, way above anyone else's. We've got it here, so that was back on the 22nd actually, so 3 days ago now, and changed it to buy, and that's the main thing. You know, you could look at that and think, oh, quite compelling, you know, $80 price target from an analyst, 37% upside. Should you take this one analyst as the catalyst? It's definitely going to $80. Let's buy in at 60 and we've made ourselves a good chunk of money. Absolutely not, but it is just something quite interesting and a catalyst nevertheless. Would I be buying more Tesla on this basis? No, not just on this one analyst. I wouldn't necessarily, even if a few analysts gave it a higher price target, I'd be buying into NIO if I genuinely liked the product, thought it was a good product, had a future ahead of itself. I think it does. I think the product looks pretty good, and there's a lot of very strong backing. And also the next thing I'll go into is actually the balance sheet and cash flow, I guess, the assets, liabilities, the amount of cash it's sitting on as well. It's pretty well set up at the moment as well. So if you look at it as a standalone company, it's relatively well set up. And then of course you look at the fact that it's probably the future of the EV market in China, certainly. So I think NIO is going to be one of the biggest names in the game. Well, it already is one of the biggest names in the game, but certainly in the EV market, and more so certainly in China. I think a lot of people look at EV companies, they think Tesla, and the reason they think that is because of Elon Musk, and they think of that because American company, and they think of that because of American media and American publicity and social media, and it's in the mainstream, it's in people's eyes. People see, right, America therefore and Tesla therefore are the EV market, and there needs to be a focus shift on Europe and China. So again, one of my last videos, in fact it was the Tesla one, you'll see that actually the biggest selling EV company was actually a legacy automaker, Renault, in Europe, not Tesla, Renault. In China, it was BYD. I think it's BYD, it's an acronym like that. And they were the biggest sellers in China, not Tesla. So it's only in America that Tesla are the biggest seller of EVs, not China, not Europe. So there's got to be this shift to these other companies, and there's got to be a shift from people's mindsets of America to everywhere else in the world, because there's a big wide world out there, not just America. So in fact, I'll show you this quickly. Right, I've moved my ugly mug, so we can see this here, 2020. These are the global annual sales of plug-in electric vehicles in top selling markets. 2011 down here up to 2020. So they've grown massively, we can see that. But actually look, China in blue, huge amounts. Europe, very large amounts again. USA, well, not a lot really at all. In fact, you really need to keep up USA. It's just interesting to try and shift people's focus from Tesla being the be all and end all because you've got a madman at the helm, and that's not disrespecting Elon Musk by any stretch of the imagination. I think the guy is an absolute machine, he's a robot, but there needs to be a shift between Elon Musk and the publicity he gets, and Tesla and the publicity it gets, to actually there's a massive world out there. Renault, of all car makers, legacy car makers, are the top selling EV company in Europe, and actually Volkswagen Group in the last few months of last year quickly became the second best seller in Europe. So Tesla's only the third in Europe. Now look at China, and Tesla's second in China. Now we've got NIO coming up through the ranks, and NIO is a Chinese company. Now China is going to fast track NIO far above and beyond Tesla, aren't they? We all know that. Doesn't need to be said. So there's far more out there that we need to look into, i.e. NIO, i.e. all the other EV companies out there, and not just Tesla. I actually think that Tesla's got a bit of a premium on it right now. Now, does that mean that NIO stock has got a premium on it with this new analyst targeting 80? Obviously wouldn't have a premium if it was actually worth 80. Everyone else thinks it's worth around 40, average of $47. So has it got a premium at $60 that it's at right now? In fact, the market's open right now and it's moving. So yeah, we're at $60, down 3.8% roughly today. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you to make your own minds up and do your own homework on it. I'm merely here to just highlight the facts here. So I've got on some other bits here. So as of 5 days ago, JAC Motors, who actually are responsible for building NIO's cars, NIO don't build them themselves, JAC Motors builds them. They are looking to open a second factory. They're soliciting bids from contractors for a construction project of new energy passenger vehicle NEPV related car body component factory, according to such and such. So it looks like they're probably looking to, and this was I think rumours a little while ago, but and this isn't 100% confirmed, but it's looking like they're probably looking to open a second factory as well. So it's just another small little catalyst that could help things along and could have an impact on the share price. But that was 5 days ago, so it probably would have had an impact by now. But you combine that with this new Analyst and you combine that with some other bits and pieces, and it starts to build a pretty strong case, and that's where prices start to move, not rapidly like they have, but they just start to move in the right direction with all these things coming together. One other thing to look at is NIO are offering, and this was 4 days ago, NIO offers limited 0 down payment option for its electric vehicles. This is just for between January and February pretty much, or the end of Jan to the end of Feb, and this is purely to do one thing. This is just to get as many vehicles out there as fast as possible, just for PR basically. Not for PR, they want to sell vehicles obviously, but like with anything, they're trying to get as many out as possible. Now the more people that see these on the road competing with the Teslas, the more people that are going to take note and start looking into them, and then go and test drive them, and then of course go and buy them. Red Bull did a very similar thing when they first brought the drink out. They thought no one knows what this is, no one's going to know about this. So what they did is they went all around major cities. I'm pretty sure they did it in London. I don't know whether they did it anywhere else, but I'm pretty sure this is based in London when I heard this. They went around and filled all the empty bins, and that's trash cans for Americans out there, all the empty bins in London with empty Red Bull cans. And it was just a PR stunt. They didn't need these empty Red Bull cans. They would have collated millions of cans probably in the time that the drink was being manufactured and produced. And they kept all those cans and they went and just planted them in the bins around London, so that when people were throwing their coffee cups, containers into the bins, they were seeing this new product, and it was getting in their mind, and it was just exposing the world to this new drink. And the principle's similar, and NIO's doing the same sort of thing, only they're doing it by selling them. You can't just go and dump a NIO car out on the street just for PR purposes. They're doing this 0 payment down to try and bump start the sales, get as many out there as quick as possible, and that should catapult them. That should be the springboard that helps them grow more and more and more. We're going to take a quick look at the financials, the real boring stuff. You don't want to just listen to me talk the whole time. So we've got cash and equivalents. We've got 2.8 billion currently in cash as of the last report. Now we've also had share offerings which would have all completed, or most of them would have completed. So we're sitting on far more cash than 2.8, but certainly on the last report, that is what is sitting there, 2.8 billion. We have current assets sitting there. Current assets means assets that could be liquidated within a 12-month period. So if they get in trouble, they're getting a bit of hot water, they need some money, they've got assets, then they can liquidate within 12 months. That's current assets of 3.8, nearly 3.9 billion. And we've got total current liabilities, so we're going to stick with current for this, of 1.6. So if we have a look at the asset to liability ratio, we've got 3.8 divided by 1.6, which gives us 2.37. Essentially, for every $1 that NIO has in debt, they have $2.37 in assets that can cover that debt. So they've got a large runway, they've got a great runway, and their sales are going up. You know, I think they're in a very good position. As I said at the beginning of the video, they're in a good spot. They're actually well set up, pretty well set up as a company. And you can call me out on that, I haven't taken a deep dive into it, but certainly just looking at some brief fundamentals like assets and liabilities, their cash position, they're well set up as a company as a whole, as well as of course their future. Their price will no doubt be set up at the moment, taking future sales into account, future revenue, but of course with a company as innovative as NIO, with the kind of future they've got, and they're going into a space and industry that is obviously going to be the future, I think we're quite comfortable. I'm certainly quite comfortable, and we'll be holding NIO for a long time now. And long term, we're talking years and years at the moment. I've got no plans to sell it out of my portfolio. So this was going to be a short video, guys, but obviously it's now turned into not being a short video because I ramble on, so apologies for that, but I'll leave that there. A few little insights into NIO, and as I said, I hope that's been helpful. Yeah, so definitely let me know if you're in NIO, what price you got in at NIO, got into NIO at, any other EV stocks you're looking at. Did a video again recently, I'll tag it up in the top there, of Lucid Motors and Churchill Capital SPAC merger, potential merger. That's building a bit of momentum now as well, and I think there's more rumors coming out, but as of today, once I get this price analyst target out from the newest analyst. I bored you with a load of other information about NIO as well. Some of it's interesting, some of it you would already have known maybe, but that's it for today's video. I will continue trying to get videos out a few times a week if I can, but work is busy and I can't always spend my evenings making videos. But hopefully at some point in the not too distant future, I will be able to spend every day getting a video out maybe and not go to work full time. You can help me in that endeavor by subscribing to the channel, liking the video, commenting, sharing it with friends, and just generally supporting me in that way. It's completely free of charge and it really helps me out. That's enough for today, guys. I've bored you enough. You can go away and carry on with your lives now. But until next time, I'll see you in the next video. See you later. Wine's really got to me.